right, let's just jump right into it. If you've ever lived in, worked in, or even just tried to visit Bengaluru, you know what December means. The roads, they turn into a special kind of nightmare. So today, we're going to break down this annual chaos. Just take a good look at this picture. This isn't a festival, it's not a holiday rush. For millions of people, this is just Tuesday. It's the reality of what happens when a city grows way, way faster than its roads can keep up. And you know, this quote from the source material just hits the nail on the head. It perfectly captures that feeling, doesn't it? That feeling of being totally trapped, where your engine is off, but your life feels like it's on hold. So, what's really going on here? Well, we're going to explore this whole mess through a really unique lens. The brutally honest perspective of a 12-year-old who's grown up in this gridlock. Trust me, they see things we adults have kind of learned to ignore. Now, this problem isn't spread out evenly. There are two major battlegrounds in the city's war against traffic. First, we'll tackle the journey everyone dreads, the road to the airport. And then, we're heading over to the infrastructure apocalypse happening in the east. The sheer scale of this bottleneck is, well, it's just staggering. We're talking more than 100,000 vehicles, cars, buses, taxis, all trying to squeeze through a single point, every single day. The system was just never designed for this. And, as if that wasn't stressful enough, the authorities have introduced something people are calling the pickup panic. You have exactly 8 minutes to find your family, load their bags, and get out before the meter starts running. It turns what should be a happy reunion into a frantic race against the clock. And here's the real irony. The long-term solution, this big new underpass, is causing years of short-term pain. It's that classic Bangalore promise, right? It'll get worse before it gets better. The only problem is that better part always feels like it's just around the corner. So, if you thought the airport road was bad, well, you might want to buckle up, because now we're heading to East Bengaluru's tech hubs. We're talking Whitefield, Varthur, and Gunjur, areas where using the term road is often being very generous. This one road story is really the story of so many projects in the city. It starts with a promise of a quick fix. Then come the delays, blame it on unforeseen circumstances. Then the complications pile up, and the reality? The finish line just keeps moving, all the way to 2027. And let's be clear, this isn't just about being late. This has a severe, daily impact on people's health and lives. Can you even imagine a 3-hour journey to travel just 12 kilometers? The constant construction dust is causing a genuine health crisis that nobody seems to be talking about. Okay, let's zoom out for a minute. We've seen the symptoms, but what are the underlying causes? Why is the whole system failing so badly that, seriously, getting out and walking is a legitimate strategy? Oh, this slide is just perfect. It captures that moment when a politician's motorcade, sirens, and all got completely and totally stuck. It proved a fundamental point. Bengaluru traffic is the great equalizer. It does not care who you are. Everyone is late. The stories are one thing, but the data is just brutal. Commuters have to budget 71% more time for pretty much any journey. The average speed is less than a fifth of what it would be on an empty road. It's really no surprise the city consistently ranks among the slowest in the entire world. And here's that sharp insight again from our 12-year-old narrator. It's so simple, but so profound. It really gets to the psychology of the driver. All of that impatience just leads to a collective breakdown of order on the roads. So, knowing all this, how do you actually function? Let's switch from the problem to the solutions. Or, let's be real, the coping mechanisms that residents have figured out just to survive the daily grind. This slide shows the contrast perfectly. On one side, you've got the total chaos of the road. On the other, the clean, orderly, and most importantly, predictable Nama Metro. For many people, it's become the only truly reliable way to get around town. The big takeaway here is you always have to be prepared. This isn't just good advice, it's a non-negotiable checklist for driving in December. Doubling Google's time estimate might sound crazy, but any local veteran knows that's just being realistic. And here's a special warning for the 31st. The city center, especially around MG Road, goes into a full lockdown. This timeline shows how the entire area just becomes a no-go zone for vehicles. You either plan for it, or you don't plan on going home. And just in case the warnings aren't clear enough, here's a little visual reminder. If you try to sneak your car into the restricted zones on New Year's Eve, your night is probably going to end at a police station paying a hefty fine to get your vehicle back. After all this, it's easy to feel pretty pessimistic. But is there any light at the end of this very, very long tunnel? Let's take a look at what the future might actually hold for the city's commuters. So you have these two competing narratives. The optimist will point to the expanding metro and say that some of these big projects will eventually finish. The realist, though, just points to the relentless growth in population and cars, suggesting we're constantly just playing catch-up. And this quote, this one really brings it all home. Just think about that. An entire year of a young person's life spent just waiting in a car. It's a staggering way to calculate the true cost of this gridlock, not in money, but in time. At the end of the day, whether you're a CEO, a student, or a politician, this traffic is the one thing that connects everybody in Bengaluru. It's a shared frustration that pretty much defines daily life in the city. And that brings us to the end. You know, everyone who has lived here has a story. A legendary jam, a missed flight, a clever shortcut that actually worked. So, we've got to ask, what's yours?